Hi everyone, this is Myles. Today, my guest is Trent from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia.
What's going on, man?
Trent is a good friend of mine from high school, and we're actually related. And
Indeed.
he was kind enough to help me with the first ever interview. So Trent, let's start out. Let's get to know you a little better.
All right, man.
All right, so starting off, you are a gamer. What kind of games do you play?
Well, after a 2 year World of Warcraft addiction, I'm strictly to any RPG other than World of Warcraft and first person shooters. Maybe some third person shooters.
Nice, nice. Yeah, WoW really sinks its teeth into you.
Yeah, and my personal opinion is the game has been pretty much butchered at this point, so.
A lot of fans I hear they're not too kind on the Mists of Pandaria, the newest expansion pack.
Well, who really wants to play as Kung Fu Panda? Is my personal outlook on this.
Well, Jack Black made a lot of money being a Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, but we're not all Black Jack. Jack Black. My bad.
I don't know, do I know a lot of WoW players currently do see I'm not too bright on the whole subject, but they don't actually play the actual WoW.
Yeah, most people just in the PvP.
Yeah, they have someone's like reverse engineered the game to like the original basic game.
Oh, hack servers.
Hack servers, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've played a few.
Yeah. But it's good because it does get addicting and you do lose a lot of hours.
Yeah.
Um,
Brandon's character, I think, is something like, I couldn't even tell you, man. At least a couple months played.
yeah,
Yes.
couple of months that could be played, first person shooters or third person shooters. What are you playing right now? What's your go-to game?
I'm currently playing the Mass Effect series and Final Fantasy 13.
Nice, nice. Mass Effect is awesome.
Oh, Mass Effect is awesome.
Yeah. Now, do you do any recreational things? Anything to sort of mellow you out before a game or after a game?
Nice big old fatty.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So I know Trent, bit of a pot enthusiast.
A
Uh,
bit.
a bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. We wouldn't call it over the top or anything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Cape Breton, Cape Breton's a big place for it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the main
So
source of entertainment on this island.
so uh so what's your opinion on right now in the States? There's a lot of legalization going on. A lot of states, I think Maryland recently got it legalized. It all started, of course, with California not too long ago legalizing it. You think
Right.
we're ever going to see a big influx here of legalization?
Um, why not? It's pretty much legal in Canada. No one really gives a fuck. We don't push on it, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's not a big deal compared to like meth or crack or something.
Canadian cops are like actually spending time like fighting actual crime, basically.
Well, I was actually talking to a friend of mine on the phone about 20 minutes, half hour before this, and he was telling me that he was on a subway and he had a quarter of weed in his backpack, right?
Hmm.
And the police were there to make sure that everyone had the right tickets and stuff. And they checked the woman next to him, and she didn't have a ticket. And they talked to her for a solid 15 minutes, and there was no way they couldn't smell it in his bag, but they still didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's not really hurting anybody. It's
No, no. As long as you're not walking around in public or whatever, I don't really think it's a big deal.
Yeah, it really is basically a victimless crime. The only victims that ever come of it are because it's illegal and you have to deal with these shady characters. But I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, but I mean in Cape Breton, how many shady characters? Well, you would know more than I would.
I like to call them mental characters more than shady. They're quite the lot to be dealt with.
Hmm. All right, nice, nice. Let's see what else we got here. Um, so what are interests you got there? You went to history at all?
I took history like every year of school, but pretty much everyone else has too. But I guess it's the only class I ever did any good
Yeah,
in.
that's nice. What history like? What exactly? Because a lot of people don't bother with history. A lot of people just
Yeah,
it's it happened in the past. It's not going to matter moving forward.
I don't know. I'm kind of a war enthusiast. I like World War One history, World War Two. My grandfather fought in the Korean War, so that's kind of I don't know, one of more or less my favorite wars. Even though I kind of sound like a dick for saying I have a favorite war.
No, I always find it interesting when people who are pot enthusiasts who tend to have a more mellow laid back lifestyle, but they're interested in the war scene and they're interested in even playing like war video games or playing things like Halo, which
Well,
is obviously.
the only thing stopping me from joining the military is that I'm flat-footed, and they won't let me in. We'll put it that way.
So you would like to serve your country?
I would love to if I could.
All right, all right. The same country who doesn't want you to roll a fat joint, but
Uh,
you're willing to serve for them.
I'll roll what I want, whenever I want.
Right on, right on. Now, I guess because of whether it be from laid back, attitudes or maybe too much wow, really anyone can throw can throw so much accusations. But you did not finish high school, is that correct?
I did not.
You did not. You dropped out. When did you leave?
Somewhere around my third time in grade 11.
There, so third time, not the charm, I guess. But
No.
but yeah, like I can sit here and throw accusations. Oh, it's the pot. Oh, it's the Warcraft addiction. It's the war crack. You
Yeah.
know, it's but really, what would you say? What would you say is the real reason you did not excel in that environment?
Uh, I just don't think school was really geared for people like me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I took my GED, right? And I got that. And I had no problem with the GED class because it was like 3 days a week. I got to go when I felt like, more or less. It wasn't obligation to go. I learned what I needed to learn. And I mean, like, I don't know. They're pretty chill. They let you, like, go out for your smoke or whatever. And you get, like, free food and drinks and stuff. It's awesome.
I picture when you go for your GED, you're around people who are probably in the same situation. You're in a like-minded environment, more or
Yeah, it's
less.
not like the person next to you is calling you an idiot because you failed grade 11 3 times. The person next to you might not have even made it to grade 11.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Like, because I know I hear a lot of problems with our high school, and really it's the education system across the board. What could they do to improve and keep students coming to school and keep them learning?
Are you talking about our high school or just across the board in general?
A bit of both, because it is pretty much all the same problem in my retrospect.
Well, let me think here. I think personally, even though it's almost impossible, but we need to mix it up a bit. We need kids from other schools in the different schools because I don't know if you've noticed, right? But around here, our major problem is all these different areas warring against each other for no reason whatsoever.
Right, right. I'm not sure if I want to go into the schools, but we had one, two, three. We only had about three different junior highs that went into that one high school.
Yeah, and one of them is going to be closed now.
I did not know that,
Yeah.
but yeah, and it was basically like three different. You had the French kids, then you had the kids that grew up, for a lack of a better term, like not to say the sticks, but the sticks, you know. And whatever our group was, I'm not even sure. We're just like we're just basic, but yeah, it's but on a broader scale, like what do you think the problem with education is on a broader scale?
The problem with education?
Yeah, well, like our system.
Uh, the system? Well, the budget, first off, is a major problem because I was using 70s textbooks in like 2000 something.
Gotta stay vintage.
Vintage textbooks.
Yeah, all right, all right. Um, so looking forward now, like what is your goal going forward with education and whatnot?
Well, now that I have my GED and I can be accepted into community college, guess I'm going to go to community college and try to be a flight engineer to the best of my ability, anyway.
Flight engineering. Hopefully trains going by in the background. I hope that's not getting
Yeah,
picked up.
maybe I'll be some kind of trained engineer and sabotage that fucker for
just fly something over it and then drop something on it. I don't know.
you.
So flight engineer, where'd you come up with that?
um, well, I always figured, I want to be some kind of mechanic. I want to fix some kind of automotive, you know. But I don't know. A car mechanic just isn't my thing, I guess. My brother is really good at it, so I mean, if I needed a mechanic, I'd just call him. I don't need to do it. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll go on a boat. But then I thought, I'm completely surrounded by water all the time. I live on an island, so maybe I'll just go work on planes. And that's where we are.
Okay, okay. So it's something somewhat familiar because it's still mechanics,
Yeah,
but it's different enough to be your own.
essentially, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's well, it's good that you're going for something that's practical like that. That's like flight engineer is in the same vein as mechanics, but it is different enough to be somewhat interesting because I know a lot of people right now are going into the trades, and it's probably something I'll be going to very shortly.
Right.
A lot of people we grew up with. And actually, we're seeing a lot of like the '90s kids, the people who grew up in the '90s. That's what they're forced to do right now.
Move out west and take a trade.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm out west right now, buddy, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have to come on back soon. But I don't know. Speaking of going into a much less serious and productive view of things. Speaking of the kids we grew up with, and you and were both born in the early '90s. We're
Mhm.
both '90s kids.
Yeah.
What do you think of like you see a lot on Facebook and you see a lot on YouTube and the Twitters, all these quote unquote '90s kids talking about how good life was back then.
Well, if you weren't born before 96 or 97, I don't care what it is you have to say about the 90s because you weren't there to experience it. You were too young to even remember what the hell happened.
Yeah, like if you were 2 years old, you know, if you're 1999, uh, you had 2 years in the '90s. You don't know what Pogs are.
No.
You don't know who Alf was.
No, you don't remember like the fucking original Power Rangers and shit like that. Like,
Those guys were amazing.
yeah,
Some of my best memories.
oh yeah.
What were your like favorite shows back then, or what do you like really miss about the '90s, like that era? What do you miss compared to today?
Um, I would say what I miss the most. Um, that's a tough question, man. I miss a lot from back then. I don't know. I guess I miss being a kid and just being able to sit on the couch and drink my juice and just watch TV and not have to give a care.
Drinking juice there. I miss the little squirts, the little juice bags, the little squirts.
Yeah, man, they still make those actually.
Man, I gotta get on that, man.
Oh yeah, man. I'll have a bag waiting for you when you come home.
I was just thinking the other day, like back when I was a kid, they used to have the Flintstone berry, and they had the Nesquik chocolate push ice cream pops. Do you remember those? They had like they came in like a cardboard tube kind of thing.
Yeah, man, I remember that stuff.
Man,
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it was like this pop that came in a clear bottle, like like Sprite clear,
yeah.
except it had these little white, well, not white, but they had these little beads floating around in them, and whatever color the beads were, right, was like how you could distinguish the flavors between them. Like there was a lemon one with like little yellow bead things like floating around in it. I don't know what it was called. I was too young, but
Pepsi Clear? I'm not even sure.
have you ever seen it though?
No, I don't think so. No,
Uh,
it's one thing from the 90s I can't wrap my head around.
I don't know, man. I was like really young. Like that's like a memory from when I was 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah.
Like way back.
Do you like keep up on other 'cause the whole 90s, the whole quote unquote 90s thing has become a meme somewhat. Do you keep up to date on like the current memes, the current internet? Are you a big internet goer? Like,
Yeah. The internet's pretty much my life, I guess, outside of Xbox.
yeah.
I know all the memes and shit, I guess, except for when they put out like new ones, and I haven't checked it in like 4 days or something. But other than that, yeah.
What's like I don't know, like they're entertaining, but like it seems like it's all by people from our generation who's really getting behind it. And is it like do we not have anything better to do? Are we not creative enough to come up with our own thing that we just have to sort of mix and match all these same memes?
Um. Well, I've never actually looked at it that way.
Yeah, some food for thought there.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's so much instead of coming up with our own thoughts and comments, we just sort of pick a meme and be all like, "Hey, look, Velociraptor gets it," you know? He knows
Oh
he knows exactly what I'm saying.
yeah. And I guess Bad Luck Brian or whatever his name is definitely knows what I'm saying.
Bad luck, Brian. Is that the kid with the glasses or something? Or
No, I don't think he has glasses,
I'm
but
thinking of Kung Fu Kyle.
no, he's a ginger with braces or whatever.
I think I might know. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
If you could pick a meme to describe you, would that be it? Bad luck, Brian?
Oh, definitely not. Stoner
No.
Stanley, obviously.
Stoner Stanley.
Yeah.
Right on, bro. Right on. And we're recording this in March. Any plans for April? April 20th?
Um, no, man, I wouldn't do anything on that day. What's so special about April 20th?
No idea, man. I have no idea at all.
Well, my birthday is the 8th, so I might be still partying by the 20th, but yeah, I'm gonna get high as fuck.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Well, man. I think we covered all we need to cover right now. It's interesting talking to you. Glad we could get this first interview off the ground. Thanks for helping us with that. You got any final thoughts? Any last comments you want to say to the audience?
Well, if anyone wants to add me on Facebook, feel free. My Facebook will be in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, all right. And if anyone else would like to get interviewed by me and keep these interviews coming, just subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave something in the comments, anything that can sort of bolster our popularity on YouTube. And we'll get back to you and see if we can give you, a little interesting chat. And until next time, I'm Miles, and I'd like to thank my guest, Trent. Thank
Later
you.
days, everyone.